Welcome everybody. Let's turn that on off. What it do, man? What it is? Welcome to Stand on the Media, man. Yeah, buddy. Give me 1 second, y'all. This gonna be good right here, man. Salute the Scandalous Los Angeles TV. He just dropped a good one. I haven't watched it yet. I'm gonna watch it with y'all. I seen the beginning, but anything he drop is good. So I know this gonna be good. And the second one I'm gonna play after that, I ain't gonna lie, I did watch that. That one is really, really good. Let me set everything up real quick. I'm gonna watch this shit. Yep. If anybody's in the chat chatting to me, I'm not at the chat just yet. But I'm about to get there. My computer moving slow as hell right now. This is crazy. There we go. Welcome everybody, man. What it do, man? Welcome to Stand on the Media, man. We trying to get to this content, man. What up, Muddy? What it do? What up, bro? All right, man. Look, man. I got something to do real quick. So we're gonna get the video going now. Again, salute the Scandalous Los Angeles TV for this content. I know this is going to be a good one. Enjoy.
Welcome back to Scandalous Los Angeles TV, where we expose the exposers. The walls are closing in on former Compton police officer Reggie Wright Jr. as new bombshells emerge in the case of Tupac Shakur's murder. Keffe D, from his jail cell, is now claiming that Reggie was the one who orchestrated the killing. These shocking revelations echo the words of Kevin Hackey, who once predicted that Reggie would be the fall guy.
But I think at the end of the day, ultimately, Reggie is and will be the fall guy at the end of the day.
And now, those predictions are sounding more accurate than ever.
The man charged in Tupac Shakur's murder is speaking out from behind bars for the first time. Dwayne Keffe D. Davis insists he was 300 miles away when the rapper was shot. Dwayne Keffe D. Davis insists he was 300 miles away when the rapper was shot.
Keefe now claims he wasn't even in Vegas the night Tupac Shakur was murdered, further exposing the depth of the cover-up surrounding the case. If Keefe wasn't in Vegas, yet figures like Vlad TV, Greg Kading, Reggie Wright, and everyone else involved in pushing that narrative insisted he was. It points to a larger, coordinated effort to conceal the truth behind Tupac's death. This suggests there's a powerful machine at work, actively working to bury the real story. At this point, there's really no need for speculation. It's clear that the LAPD coerced Keefe throughout his entire proffer session, making it all the more evident that the truth has been manipulated from the start.
And they were not allowed to record interviews. And so we were honoring that for Jeff, the FBI guy with us, because he said he can't sit in if they're being interviewed unless he goes and gets special approval, and we weren't going to wait around for that. His decision to surreptitiously record that interview is everything. Like, I can't even tell you, like, I could never have done the book or any of these things. We wouldn't be here where we are today, honestly, I don't think, if he hadn't secretly recorded that entire interview.
I think the recording that I've listened to where Greg Kading just starts doing all the talking, that's not how a proffer session works on the federal side. I think the recording that I've listened to where Greg Kading just starts doing all the talking, that's not how a proffer session works on the federal side. In reading this transcript, once Detective Long leaves the room, they're completely leading Keefe on what to say and to stick to the story and not let Keefe speak freely. And instead, they're putting words in his mouth to say, this is what you need to state during this interview.
That's
in
interesting.
reading this transcript, once Detective Long leaves the room, they're completely leading Keefe on what to say and to stick to the story and not let Keefe speak freely. And instead, they're putting words in his mouth to say, this is what you need to state during this interview. If you stick to this story, you'll sleep well. If you don't stick to this story, you're not going to sleep well, and we're going to put...
Didn't I say earlier, though, that he sounded coached? This is the second person I've heard say that, though, in the position that he's in. But his confession sounded coached. Not saying that it is, I'm not saying that it isn't, but it's interesting that we're here today. And Keffe D is saying, I wasn't even in Vegas. And this guy right here, this FBI dude, he picked up on it right away just listening to how they ran it. And there's a reason that my man, Reggie Wright Jr. ran out there, man, and testified in the Keffe D trial. It was a reason why he did that. He ain't just do that because that's number one. He a cop that claim he from the hood that be talking gangster and all type of ish. You mean you went down, you ran to testify for the grand jury to put Keffe D away? And then you say you did it in the name of Tupac. For the love of Tupac. That's crazy.
Potentially cause problems for you, which is complete police coercion, which is crazy. It's not acceptable, obviously. It's hard to be believed, but I'm reading it, so yeah.
You just heard former FBI agent Phil Carson acknowledge that the LAPD coerced Keffe D's statement. This proves that the FBI is fully aware of the hidden truths surrounding this case.
Now he's pointing the finger at someone else. Chief Investigative Correspondent Aaron Katursky has this ABC News exclusive.
We ain't meant to survive, 'cause it's a setup.
The death of rap legend Tupac Shakur nearly 30 years ago became one of the nation's most notorious unsolved murders.
Hey, Keefe, Metro Police, come over here.
Then in 2023, a breakthrough when prosecutors charged this man with ordering the hit, the only person arrested for Shakur's murder, who now tells ABC News authorities have the wrong man.
I'm innocent. I ain't killed nobody, never did ever kill nobody. They don't have no evidence against me. Came and put me in Las Vegas.
61-year-old Dwayne Keffe D. Davis says the night of the murder, September 7,
Keffe D.
1996, he was in Los Angeles, 300 miles from the Las Vegas intersection where Tupac Shakur was gunned down.
Prove that I orchestrated this. You know what I'm saying? Your key witness orchestrated this, orchestrated this, orchestrated this.
I'm an never mind.
They top witness is the lead suspect. They top witness is the lead suspect.
I think that Reggie has managed somehow to play everybody off against everybody else, and that includes law enforcement. He is he's an informant / suspect in all of these crimes.
The defense pointing to someone else, Reggie Wright Jr., a former cop and security guard for record mogul Suge Knight, who was driving the car Tupac was in the night he was shot. Wright has denied any involvement and has said it bothers me because I was in charge of possibly protecting this young man.
But I think at the end of the day, ultimately, Reggie is and will be the fall guy at the end of the day.
Reggie is being set up as the fall guy, but we know the orders came from much higher up. They're going to pin all the blame on him, but we're aware of where the real problem started.
There's a lot of conversations going on all the time. Don't go to Vegas, don't go to Vegas, don't go to Vegas. Because at the time, there's a lot of trouble in Vegas, a lot of gangs in Vegas. Look, instinctively, I felt like there was trouble.
I'm going to the studio to make Bob Dole mad. I'm finna go make Bob, I'm finna make you real mad right now. You with Dolores Tucker. I'm finna make a hit for y'all right now.
And prosecutors say Davis incriminated himself in his 2019 memoir, Compton Street Legend, and in this on-camera interview.
You said the shots came from the back. Who shot Tupac?
The keeper for the code of the streets. It just came from the backseat for him.
Davis now says his previous admissions connected with the shooting were made under duress and for money, claiming he did not write his own memoir and was fed information by police.
I shouldn't have said nothing. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't have said nothing. And I'm innocent, man.
Prosecutors declined to respond directly to Davis's new claims. They say their case is strong and they expect a conviction. Tupac Shakur is one of the best-selling rap artists of all time, 75 million albums to date. Most of those sales posthumously, thanks in part to hits like California Love. Davis's arrest followed years of fan-driven theories that an intense rivalry between East Coast and West Coast rappers sparked the fatal attack on Shakur.
And I'm being held against my will. I'm supposed to be out there enjoying my twilight. God got my back, and God will see me through this.
The judge has not yet weighed the defense's claim of a different suspect. And right now, Diane Davis is scheduled for trial in February. Diane?
Chief Investigative Correspondent Aaron Katersky, thank you.
Wow. Damn. Man, look. Keefe D, he calling for the Lord now. Look at him. Man. I don't want to call that man dumb. I'm going to just say he trusted too many people. He ain't listened to his intuition. You know what I mean? They set him up, though. I ain't gonna lie. They really did set him up in the beginning. That's how they got him. They set him up. But then again, if he would have just got out the game, he wouldn't have gave him ammunition to go at him. Damn, that's crazy, bro. Let me see. All right, so we're gonna go to my man Delray Richardson, man. He been on top of this shit. Man, he got so many good ones in a row. Man, I should hit y'all with that one. No, I'll wait. Yeah, I won't do that. But yeah, man, he been on that ass. Reggie do not like him. Reggie be taking shots at him. Hey, this is what I will say about Reggie Wright though. If what is being alleged is true, dude's a smart dude, man. Real smart dude, bro.
More about Kevin Hackey getting $10,000 for actually doing a job outside of what's.
Why did it even start right there? That's crazy. Run that back.
Let me
But
show you
yeah.
how to block this ad. First, you're gonna click on this video.
Hey man, Reggie Wright, smart, bro. Who in the chat? I ain't even looking at the chat. Hold on, my bad, y'all. My bad. Stamp Reggie Roan Jr. Yo. Oh man, somebody hit me with the 9.99. What up, Tanya? Good looking out. Good looking out. I appreciate that. I'm trying, man. It's a slow night, slow content night. I'm not gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of the you know, it's a lot of bullshit content out there that people like to hear, but it don't have no meaning behind it. This shit right here has a meaning behind it. Let me just say before we even get to this next video, I should have said it from the beginning like I said, but I got sidetracked by something, but it's cool now. Rest in peace to Tupac Shakur. This right here, this is not just about monetization for me. This is not about getting subscribers or followers or cool points. Nothing like that. That will come with it, of course. I'm not stupid, but that's not what it is for me, at least. Let me just make that disclaimer right now. This is more than just that. I love Tupac. He was loved across this world, all across this land. He was played in everybody's house damn near across this land. Somebody knows who Tupac was. He was an inspiration, a leader, whether if it was positive or negative, an activist, an actor. Man, he was a man of many trades. He was a treasure. And in my younger days growing up, you know what I'm saying, with Pac was out and Pac was doing this thing, he was a vibe. He just, you know what I mean? He just put you in a mode, no matter what song it was. It can be gangster, it can be heartfelt, it can be a personal one. It didn't matter. Like Pac was an inspiration, man. You felt like you knew him. Or he was at least family. You know what I'm saying? That's how much Tupac meant to not just me, but to many, many other people. So when you really look at this and what's being alleged, not saying that any of it is true, but things are starting to, you know, add up. It blows your mind. And it like for me, it just frustrates me that, you know, if it is true what's being alleged, like you just played in our face for years and played with that man's name and y'all took Tupac away from us for a higher power. They said that Snoop Dogg, he might allegedly, you know what I'm saying, be involved. And they said that when he got to the hospital, he was so like effed up from it, he just started throwing up. Think they said he might even passed out in the bathroom. And Tupac's mother is the one who cleaned him up and told him to be strong. He wouldn't want to, you know, to see you like this. Be strong. But again, all alleged, nothing has been proven. But I think about that what if it is all true? Y'all just played in our face like that and played with this man's name after y'all took him out. That is disgusting. Tupac didn't deserve to leave this earth because he was a brilliant mind and he inspired others. You know? Jealousy, envy. You know, some of the worst sins took that man from here. Took that man away from me, took that man away from you, took that man away from us. So I'm just shocked that a lot of people who grew up in my era are not covering this. This is bigger than what the story is. Because the story is big by itself, but what the story meant, what it means, what did Tupac, when you listening to this, I just want you to think of this and then we're going to get to the content. What did Tupac mean to you? When Tupac was alive and he was doing his thing and the music was playing in your house or you was wearing your Walkman, going to work or going to school or whatever you was doing, you was really enjoying Tupac. What did Tupac mean to you when he was here? That's what I want you to think about when you listening to these stories and these accusations of what might have happened in this situation. Bottom line is Tupac or Biggie, neither one of them shouldn't have left here. I was a Biggie fan, but not like Tupac, but I was a Biggie fan, and he didn't deserve to leave here. Their issue was music. It was a music issue. That's what goes on in hip hop. Neither one of the men deserved to die. But jealousy, envy, hate took these men from us. But that's why I'm covering this. You know, that's part of it. But let's get to the content.
Then you're gonna download Pi. It's an ad blocker that's
Bruh. Damn ads.
Kurt Burrows said he was aware of the $1 million hit.
Salute to Delray Richardson for the content. Salute to Delray Richardson for the content. I'm going to put a link to his video in the description of this video. I want y'all to go over there and subscribe to his channel. Show him some love. Run his numbers up. He's already up there, but get him up there even more. He's been covering this for years. Platinum songwriter for Death Row. That's who Delray Richardson is. Go show him some love. I'm going to put his link in the video.
That Diddy had allegedly put on Suge and Tupac. Keffe D, we know, has confessed to being involved in the murder in his book, on the Art of Dialogue, on Vlad and other platforms, but has since recanted and pointed the finger at Reggie the Rat Wright Jr., the former head of security of Death Row, who had testified before the grand jury that ultimately indicted Keffe D in the murder of Tupac. Who's telling the truth? And who's lying? Let's get into some of this straight game.
Life is like those cards. It's not what you dealt, but how you play it.
Blackjack.
Situation correctly. I remember they used to laugh at a brother.
Oh my God. You know, the one time that I'm focusing on the content and not the chat, I slip up and make a mistake here. Lord Jesus. Happy birthday to the brother Muddy. That's my brother. It's his birthday. He told me in the chat, get your ish together, sir. It's your birthday, right? I don't want to be saying happy birthday to somebody we don't know. We know you, Muddy. If your birthday is today, happy birthday, sir. And I hope you enjoyed your birthday today as much as you as possibly could with good people, genuine people. You know, I hope you got what you wanted for your birthday. And I wish you many, many more. I'm not even going to ask you how old you are. I'm not even going to put you on the spot, but you can tell us if you want to. But nevertheless, man, happy birthday, brother. Let's get to the content.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back.
Salute to everybody in the chat. Salute to all y'all.
Songwriter, Straight Game TV. Thank you for tuning in. I
Straight
appreciate
Game.
your time. Do me a favor. Click on the thumbs up button. Also subscribe.
Please do that for me too.
Like I always say, if you want to be one of the first people notified when I drop some of this Straight Game, please do me a favor and click on what appears to be that little bell notification right below this.
You can do that for me too.
Get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, there have been some bombshells this week.
I hate acting for that.
The murder of Tupac Shakur. Like I said in the intro, Kurt Burrows just filed a lawsuit against Diddy basically claiming to know about the $1 million hit that was put on Tupac and Suge, basically saying that Diddy had got rental cars for some guys from Harlem to drive out to New York. He also mentioned Von Zip, the person who Keffe D said he had got the gun from to ultimately shoot Tupac Shakur from that perspective. More importantly, Keffe D did a jailhouse interview from which we some of us know anyway, that basically he's saying now that Reggie Wright Jr., the former head of security, was the person who orchestrated and was the mastermind behind the murder of Tupac Shakur and what Reggie Wright Jr. stood to gain from that perspective. Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. Was one of the people, like I said, one of the first people to go and testify in front of the grand jury, basically saying that, Keffe D and the people that he were affiliated with was the ones who were responsible for the hit on Tupac Shakur and Suge Knight. But let me give you this. I'm going to show you an atmosphere of what had led up to that. And I told you guys from watching my channel, but I'm going to give you the when you get into the factual aspect of it, not what people are saying, trying to blame somebody, because Keffe D will have to articulate a little bit more than just the guy who, is your number one witness is the guy who was responsible. He will have to articulate a little bit more than that in order to beat these murder charges that he's facing, because he articulated a whole lot in his book on various platforms to his involvement in the murder. So he's going to have to be as vocal and as detailed as he was in him basically saying what his involvement was as he is as into alleging anybody else's involvement. I think the TV, the jailhouse interview was interesting, but like I said, once again, he's going to have to give a little bit more than that. And like I said, they say they have private investigators and all of that. But let's get into this. Check this out. So, ladies and gentlemen, now
Del Rey, he usually does this like every video that he do, especially so far, but he didn't do it on this one. So let's just remember, the private investigator says that they can bring in witnesses that can testify that Keffe D wasn't in Vegas and that Reggie Wright Jr. orchestrated the murder of Tupac Shakur. Yeah, the private investigator got some work. He's, whatever it was good enough to get a judge to kick it a whole nother year. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if people understand how big of a deal that is. Reggie, of course, Greg, Katie, and they tried to downplay it all you want to, but whatever that private investigator brought to the table to that judge said, okay, this might be worth kicking it down another year so you guys can really build your case, get your case, both sides. That just makes the prosecution, go harder and get more evidence to put Keffe D away. But I just feel in my gut, because God gets the glory. God is good all the time. What's in the dark will come out in the light. Karma will prevail. I think they got something that's in the tuck that's gonna blow this whole shit. A surprise witness, something that is creditable, that can come in and actually boom this shit. And then we got Kurt Burrows with the civil suit saying that there was a deal. He was aware of a deal that Diddy paid, that he was going to pay some, was it Southside Crips? I think Keffe D, a Southsider. He was going to pay some Southside Crips to kill Tupac Shakur. Then $1 million did get sent through Von Zip, but ultimately it failed. It didn't reach its target, who was Keffe D. And that's why Keffe D been going around talking about, looking for Diddy, like, where that money, you can get, if you gave me half out of it, I'll shut up. You know what I'm saying? He got duped. Von Zip kept the bread. And in my head, I'm thinking, well, Keffe, if you really wasn't there, that means you didn't really do no work. So that would explain why Von Zip kept the bag, because you ain't do nothing for the bag, but just take the blame for it. And I really believe in my heart to heart that they lied to him and told him that he had full immunity, and that's why Greg Kading keeps trying to nail that on there. Like, no, we told him that he did not have full immunity. We told him over and over and over. But that's what tells, because you say a lot of things over and over and over. You said that Wack wasn't CS2 back over and over and over, and we know that's not true. How you gonna say that Wack ain't CS2 back, but Wack 100 is involved in that case, and CS2 back is not really CS2 back, it's CS2 Wack. There was a misspell at best. You see how confusion that is? That's confusion. It's not even confusing, that's confusion. You just said it wasn't, it is, but it was, but it didn't, but it was. Come on, man. So we don't believe nothing you say no more. Don't even talk about it no more. The more you talk about something, the more I'm going to believe it's the opposite. So I believe they told Keffe D, you have full immunity. And that lawyer was a fake lawyer. That lawyer was pushed there and planted there to say whatever the cops needed him to say to sell it to Keffe D. And he bought it. Oh, shit. I'm telling you, man. In my heart to heart, I know that's what happened. I'd be shocked if I'm off. I could be. But I'm just saying. Ain't no way that man just thought he had full immunity out here talking and writing books and doing all that. But he know he only had a queen for a day. Anything he talks about pertaining to the case, any information that you left out from the case can result in subject to you getting locked the fuck up. Ain't no way he did that. You can say he was dumb, but I don't believe Keffe D was that dumb. I just don't. I think that they sold him. And it probably wasn't even a hard sell if you telling them you have full immunity and you have an attorney, his attorney, allegedly, air quotes, saying, yeah, that's exactly what that is. It's full immunity. You should take it. Because he was planted there. So that's an easy sell. And they duped him this whole time. That nigga said, nah, if I go down, we all going down. Let's get back.
Right here. Keffe D's now saying he did not write the memoir. I don't think that's going to work because he's basically said in his interviews that, it's his memoir and so on and so forth. On Vlad, everything was there is the truth and so on and so forth. So these are the uphill battles that he has to face.
That's what he was told.
Against themselves. He said he was fed information.
Salute, Muddy.
Right, basically saying that Greg Kading had fed him information in regards to that, right? And then him indicating that Reggie Wright Jr., like I said, was involved with the assassination and the orchestration of the assassination of Tupac Shakur, right? So now, Reggie Wright Jr., Reggie the Rat,
Reggie the Rat,
has denied involvement and said it bothers me because I was in charge.
Let me turn that off.
Protecting this young man, meaning Tupac Shakur. That couldn't be further from the truth, and I'm going to show you right now. And I'm going to give you that evening as far as Frank Alexander, what he was saying, who was there, who wasn't there, and how it happened, and the things that were going on behind the scenes that even some of the people that were working that night didn't know about, right? So let's do it like this. Listen, there was a meeting that day where they were told not to carry guns for whatever reason. They were told not to carry guns, whether it was they couldn't carry guns because they weren't licensed in Vegas, whether they didn't have certain permits, whether certain paperwork wasn't submitted. Whatever reason you can think about, that's what they were told. But listen, they had a meeting. Frank came in off a vacation. Frank Alexander, who would be guarding Tupac that night, along with someone else. Reggie had said that it was Kevin Hackey. But I want you to pay attention to this. Reggie said it was Kevin Hackey, and Kevin Hackey hadn't arrived in Vegas yet. Listen. So after the meeting that they had about the weapons and whatever it was they were talking about, After the meeting, we caught a ride with Reggie. This is Frank Alexander saying we caught a ride with Reggie. He took us out to lunch to TGI Fridays. When we finished eating, Reggie started bitching about Kevin Hackey, the bodyguard who replaced me when I was on vacation. So this is Frank's first night back, right? In Vegas, he gonna be guarding Tupac. They'd gotten into it over money. Kevin, who had worked with Reggie long before he hooked up with Suge to form Right Way, when they were both policing the streets of Compton, managed to hook up something with the producers of Gang Related, the movie Pac was working on in August, right? Right around the time that Tupac had fired Reggie as being his company, as being his personal security, not the security for Tupac, but his personal security, saying that Kevin Hackey had got paid $10,000 for offering his technical advice on the shooting scenes. Reggie felt Kevin had undermined his authority by taking the 10 grand and still taking money from Right Way for bodyguarding Pac. In my opinion, Frank Alexander saying basically Kevin took what he deserved. So now there's this meeting about the guns, about not having them, about all of these things. Frank Alexander didn't have any communication apparatus, right? I'm going to show you that. So this is 2 times at the meeting, and they also do lunch after, go out to dinner, lunch, or whatever to TGI Fridays afterwards. This is 2 opportunities where the head of security would be able to make sure that everybody has what they should have in order to be working that night, right? But as you can see, Reggie the Rat Wright Jr., he's worried more about Kevin Hackey getting $10,000 for actually doing a job outside of what security was, basically helping the people on the set of Gang Related with the shooting scenes, right? So in essence, he's mad. He's actually mad about that. But listen, check it out now.
Getting the promotion I've always wanted.
A degree program I can follow when and where I need.
Or maybe it looks like a whole new career.
WGU.
I had to do that for money, bruh.
After that, Tupac, right? He gets into Vegas. Frank and them meet up. So listen. So they're at the Luxor gambling. Tupac was like, he was losing. So Tupac wanted to go to the MGM Grand. So what do? They walked over. And so this starts off where people are watching Tupac win money now that they're at the MGM Grand. Better place for a high roller gangster to be seen rolling high than in Vegas at the craps table. I started tensing up because everyone was looking to get in his face, meaning Tupac. Now here is very important. Michael Moore, this is way before the fight. This is before the fight, and Tupac and them walked over to the MGM Grand. Michael Moore had walked with us from the Luxor, and he had Pac flanked on one side, right? Listen, he had Pac flanked on one side, and I had the other. The outlaws were staggering throughout the crowd, spread out, so people wouldn't know who they were, right? So I want you to pay attention to that, because we're gonna come back to that. So, Michael Moore on one side of Tupac, right? And Frank actually on the other side of Tupac. This is before the fight. They walked from the Luxor over to the MGM Grand. Frank feels, he felt a little bit more secure now that, everything's good. So check this out now. I'm going to show you what was going on behind the scenes that Frank didn't know about and nobody actually knew about. This goes to show the negligence and the criminal negligence that I say of Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. You got to understand what I'm about to show you, right? So now, Michael Moore's with him right now, and Frank's on one side, Michael Moore's on the other, Tupac at the crap table gambling, and he went, and Frank said he won about $1,400 to $2,000 at that particular time, right? Okay, now. So,
oh, shit.
Hey, Disney Plus, you should
I'm going to start from I Need It, right?
My bad.
Listen, so at the time, listen to me. Basically, check this out. I needed a phone to check in with Reggie, in case Suge was looking for him. And the typo they put, it was a typo. So basically, Frank is saying I needed to check in with Reggie to see if Suge was looking for Pac and wanted to know where Pac at. He basically saying he always wanted to know
where Tupac
was at all times. That's
I think
basically
so
what they're saying. But a few typos, I guess, from the interview.
I said that.
Typos, right? And Frank is saying now, the fucked up thing was, I didn't have my security staff ammo cell phone while I was on vacation. Kevin Hackey, used it, and since he and Reggie were fighting, remember about the $10,000 and all of that earlier, right? I didn't have it on me because Kevin wasn't coming to Vegas. I couldn't believe I'm rolling around with Death Row's $1 Million Boy, one of the biggest rap stars in the world, and I got to use a payphone. I must have left him for about a minute long enough to leave Reggie a message from a public phone a couple of feet away. Making my way back to the table, Tupac wasn't there. Okay, now listen. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Frank Alexander talking about he had to use a payphone. Mind you, he was with Reggie earlier that day. At that meeting, Reggie knew that Frank was going to be on Pac, right? At the lunch, Reggie knew Frank was going to be on Pac, right? Okay. Michael Moore was also with Frank and Tupac at the MGM while they were gambling. So listen to this now, so you get it. And it doesn't dawn on Reggie neither time. This is not the first time. Listen, it doesn't dawn on Reggie neither time to get Frank Alexander what he needs, right? Listen, check it out.
All you gotta do is
Oh, you've never used samples like this before. This is Arcade, the ultimate sample plugin. You can play, edit, and manipulate any sound.
Bruh. And what the fuck just happened?
So now, this is Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. talking in an interview that I found, right? And his explanation to this is, who would have thought a big celebrity could be murdered on the Vegas Strip, Wright Jr. added. Over the years, some rap fans have put the blame on Wright Jr. for Tupac's death. They always write that Tupac should have had security guards sitting either side of him.
Fendi fact.
But he had no fear and would have never agreed to that. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna read that one more time. Because if you point back to what he said, they always write that Tupac should have had security guards sitting either side of him, but he had no fear. He would have never agreed to that. Correct? Isn't that what that says? Oh.
Pay attention to this part.
Okay, now let's go back here. I'm sorry.
Real quick, salute to Del Ray Richardson, man. I done watched some of these already, man. These are really good. Man, these are very detailed, man. You can tell that he really, him and Pac was real close. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, when that happened, Del Ray Richardson been on the case this entire time. You know what I'm saying? That's how you ride with somebody that you really know, you really care about. You know, it's more than just about the content with Del Ray Richardson and Tupac. You know, they was really close. Let's get back to it.
Right? This is Frank from the MGM Grand when him and Michael Moore earlier that evening. Reggie is saying long after the fact that Tupac would have never agreed to have security flanked side by side. Frank said, I started tensing up because everyone was looking to get in his face, meaning Tupac, while he was at the crap table. Michael Moore had walked with us from the Luxor, and he had Pac flanked on one side, and I had the other side. Remember when Suge said, I had two of the best guys for Tupac? Suge was talking about Michael Moore and Frank Alexander. And Frank said Michael Moore had him flanked on one side and I had the other, right? So we know for a fact the Monday morning quarterbacking by Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. But listen to this. Now it came time for them to go to the fight. So they go to the fight. Once they go to the fight, now listen. So they go to the fight. Here it is again. Reggie saying, who would have thought a big celebrity would be murdered on the Las Vegas Strip? Wright Jr. added. Over the years, some rap fans have put the blame on Wright Jr. for Pac's death. They always write that Tupac should have had security guards sitting either side of him, but he had no fear and would have never agreed to that. We know that's a fact based on what Frank is saying. But listen to this. I'm going to show you a picture now. This is a couple of days before. This is a couple of days before at the VMAs, at the MTV Video Music Awards. You see Tupac, the reporter was asking Tupac about all of his jewelry. What does Tupac have in his hand? He has a walkie-talkie in his hand, don't he? Right? As you see, over Tupac's, that would be his left shoulder, is Michael Moore. Michael Moore has an earpiece in his ear. We know Snoop and the whole 9 yards. Now, once again, there were two security guards on Tupac that night. But more importantly, do you see the security apparatus that Tupac has? That radio. So he can get in touch with anybody. Tupac had no radio in Vegas. Frank Alexander had no radio or earpiece like Michael Moore has right here in New York, in Vegas. Do you see what I'm telling you?
Bruh.
It was set up that way. Frank didn't have a radio. They had two meetings, two opportunities to give it to him. But listen to this, right? Now, when it's time to go to the fight, remember, Frank was the only person on Tupac, right? So what Frank didn't know what's going on behind the scenes, because remember, when they walked over to the MGM Grand earlier when Tupac was gambling, you seen, in fact, Michael Moore had Tupac flanked on the one side, Frank had him on the other side. But when it was time for the fight, you heard from Tim, the guy who was Michael Moore's roommate, that Reggie had called Michael Moore and pulled Michael Moore off of Tupac. But Michael Moore was with Tupac early in that evening when they went over to the MGM Grand when he was gambling, when Frank had lost him. So Frank had got lost, but Michael Moore was still with him when they went back over to the back over to the Luxor, because that's where Frank ultimately ran to Tupac at when he went back over to the Luxor. It was like, oh, Pac, where you at? He said Pac walked up behind him. But what you have to understand, it's time to go to the fight. Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. said he had a ticket, but he didn't go. Who has a ticket to a fight that doesn't go to the fight? Reggie knew what he was doing. He pulled the security. He pulled Michael Moore off for Tupac. And guess what? Frank didn't even know. Frank didn't know, right, what was going on. And Tupac actually had Frank call Reggie again and ask him, where's Michael Moore at? You get it? But then Reggie would then come out and say years later, he would say years later, this would be the excuse that he would give years later. He would say, what did he say? What did he say? They always write that Tupac should have had a security guard sitting either side of him. But he had no fear and would never have agreed to that. That's not true, because in fact, Tupac had what? Tupac had that earlier. He had that earlier that evening with Michael Moore and Frank Alexander with him at the MGM. See, Reggie didn't know about that. So he proceeded years later to tell a lie and acted as if Tupac wouldn't wanted 2 securities on him. We know that's a lie too, based on the fact when he was in New York, he had a radio. What, he had a radio? Huh? Did he have a radio on him? Tupac had the radio in his hand so he could communicate, right? Michael Moore had the radio in his ear. He could communicate. And he wasn't the only one. Remember, Frank was on vacation.
Them
it
famous,
was 2 people on
infamous
Tupac in New York that night.
walkie-talkies.
Probably 3, right? Security was tight. But look what Tupac got in his hand.
Yeah, look at that.
So you can see the difference, the stark contrast in what happened in Vegas to what happened at the MTV Video Music Awards. Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. is complicit in the death of Tupac Shakur by way of criminal negligence.
And
he
more.
Intentionally pulled the security off of Tupac Shakur. He couldn't pull Frank Alexander off of Tupac Shakur because Tupac had requested Frank be his bodyguard. His on-site bodyguard at all times. Frank was on vacation, so you see Michael Moore the week before or a couple of days before in New York, Michael Moore had Tupac, right? So it wasn't strange that Michael Moore would ever work with Tupac from that perspective, right? But think about it. When they go to the MGM Grand, Michael Moore is nowhere to be seen. But then the guy, Tim, who was Michael Moore's roommate, who was also Death Row Security, testified on Reggie the Rat Wright Jr.'s and Gullible John's Bums First YouTube channel, right? They got Tim to come in and talk on the phone. And Gullible John, with Reggie on the phone, asked him, so what happened, you know? And Tim said, well, Michael Moore was pissed. He was pissed that Reggie had pulled him off of Tupac and told Michael Moore not to carry his gun. And Gullible John asked Tim, he said, well, Tim, where were you in the vicinity to be able to hear the conversation that was going on? And Tim said, well, there was a phone call. I wasn't privy to what was being said on the phone call from the other person on the phone. He said, but when Michael Moore got off the phone, he was pissed because Reggie was pulling him off of Tupac. And he was also pissed because Reggie told him not to carry his gun.
Look at that.
Now, Frank Alexander's not knowing none of this. He doesn't know about anything. As a matter of fact, Tupac and Frank even said Tupac thought that, you know, he was going to be working with him that night. That was Tupac, what Tupac was under the impression of, because remember, they were at the MGM Grand a few hours ago. And Flink right, Flink left, right? Yeah. So Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. now, years later, does this interview and said, oh no, Tupac would have never liked that. He was fearless. Now he's into Tupac's mind and how Tupac felt instead of doing his job. But not even instead of doing his job, he had been fired as Tupac's personal security. In and around at the same time, he's mad at Kevin Hackey in August 27th, to be exact, 1996. You know, Reggie wanted revenge against Tupac.
I got something.
Reggie wanted to create the environment in which he did around Tupac and where Tupac ultimately suffered what he suffered. He pulled Michael Moore off. Frank didn't know. They get to the MGM Grand. Tupac wondering, you know, this is the time of the fight now. You know, later on, Tupac wondering, they leave in a cab. Tupac wondering, yo, where Michael Moore at? And he tells Frank Alexander once again, yo, call Reggie and find out where Michael Moore at.
Some of y'all might not know or might have forgot or whatever the case may be. I think I'm gonna play this video next where Reggie Wright confesses that he failed as a security company. Well, because I know he keeps mentioning, so I think we're gonna play that. I'm gonna play that next.
But Reggie had already known. He pulled them off of him. And like Frank Alexander said, I'm with the $1 Million Boy.
The $1 Million Boy.
And I got to use a payphone to call the head of security, who he had a meeting with earlier that evening and also went to lunch with to TGI Fridays. and there was no attempt to get Frank any kind of communication apparatus at all. None. Zero. And he knew that he would be on death row's $1 Million Boy.
Reggie wanted death
He
row,
was pissed.
man. That's right. He wanted death row. I don't know if y'all remember when he wanted red carpet in his little penthouse. Nigga said, man, he didn't bought into the lifestyle of a gangster. You could tell he always wanted to, in my opinion, these are all my opinions. None of this is to be fact. It's my opinions. But I don't know, man. He gave off to me that that's what he really, like when he was young, that's what he wanted to be. But his dad was a cop, and he wanted to be like Pops too. But that gangster shit, he was fascinated by it. And then he was able to be front seat with Suge Knight. You know what I'm saying? And that lifestyle and being the police, man, he's a dangerous boy. Y'all seen that video Scandalous put out where he was saying, he was telling the dude, you gonna make me orca. Man, that's, you know how narcissistic you gotta be to just say some shit like that after you know you did something like this? That boy don't give a F. Man, he's a dangerous dude. You know? No heart. Heartless. Nigga, please.
That Tupac had fired him personally from using his company as his personal security. As a matter of fact, once again, I keep telling you, this is how it's all related. Suge Knight said what? I had two of the best guys for Tupac that night, but what?
What is his name? What? The Murder Crow? Who you talking to me? I need the what? You talking to me or are you talking to people in the chat? Yeah, you talking to me or somebody in the chat, sir? Because first of all, I could talk about what the fuck I want to talk about. The fuck is you talking about? The same way I can talk about what the fuck I want to talk about, like how you can be in my chat, talking in my motherfucking chat. First of all, I'm from the West Coast. I lived it, nigga. What are you talking about, sir? When this shit first happened, yeah, I was right there in Compton, sir. When them bodyguards and shit when people start coming up dead like every other day, yeah, I was right there, sir. When the rumors was Suge and Reggie had something to do with it, yep, I was right there, sir. Yeah. Talk about what I want to talk about. Go get you a YouTube channel and go and make a channel that go at all the channels that talk about shit wherever they at. And talk about how you got an issue with it and all that. Do your thing. But I'm gonna do my thing. I would talk about it even if I wasn't from the West. See, I ain't one of them people that when I see somebody from the East Coast talking about, now I'll be like, damn, I wish he was more educated on the topic. I wish he did a little more research. Or it's impossible for you to understand because you ain't from there. But as far as to be like, you can't talk about what? Man, you sound stupid. It's a free country. I don't care that it bothers your nerve. I know, but I'm from Cali, so at least I'm talking about where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? You got to go tell somebody that ain't from where they from to tell them to stop talking about that, and then they gonna probably kick you out they shit. You know what I'm saying? Yo, why does it bother you so bad? Are you involved in the case? You getting nervous? Sound like you somebody that's involved in it. Sound like you that guy we talking about in this audio. We're gonna run this audio for real now. He came in on a burner. Reggie came in here on a burner, buddy. Yo, you ain't slick. We gonna run this shit now. I think Del Ray done right there. We gonna go to Reggie Wright confessing that his security company let Tupac down on that night though. That's crazy. I just don't understand why they took him off.
What is your
Why did he take the security guards off for
and
Tupac?
get the best music and sound effects for your
Why did he
videos?
do that?
This is not the real world.
Yeah, we know he fired him.
Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. finally takes responsibility for his negligence in the death of Tupac Shakur. This is groundbreaking. Let's get into some of the straight game.
And real quick, yeah, why did he take him off? I know that Tupac fired him, you know, that's true, but Suge Knight is who pays you. So he fires you as his personal security. But when y'all out doing events and stuff like that, that's on Death Row's dime. So when Suge said send 5 more guys, that's what he meant.
Life is like cards. It's not what you dealt, but how you play it.
Don't let these little chat guys, these little chat warriors, you know, they try so hard. Cause you know, they want I ain't gonna really say but I really think going over. We just gonna play the chat thing. But you know, we ain't gonna worry about the chat. We're gonna let the chat. You know what I'm saying? Let them, you know, do what they do. Say what they gonna say. It's all good. Even if I don't like the fact that they coming here telling me what I can't talk about, they got a right to say it, right? It's America. Let's get to it. Let's go, Del Ray.
Correctly.
Yeah.
I remember they used to laugh at a brother.
Salute to Del Ray Richardson.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. It's your boy Del Ray Richardson, platinum artist, platinum songwriter, Straight Game TV. I thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your time. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button notification. Also subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And like I always say, if you want to be one of the first people notified when I drop some of this straight game, please do me a favor and click what appears to be that little bell notification.
Y'all can do that for me too. I would appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. finally admits that he was responsible for Tupac being shot on September 7th, 1996 on the Las Vegas Strip. And his security company failed.
As a security company, I failed because my security guard, and I have to take some responsibility of that, didn't call me and inform me what happened, and Tupac got shot and killed, not while I was there, but while my security company was one of the ones supposedly fired. But we know that's this false statement, fake news, as Donald Trump people would say.
I want to say it again. Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. finally admits that his security company on September 7th, 1996 failed Tupac Shakur, and he's accepted responsibility for that failure.
As a security company, I failed because my security guard, and I have to take some responsibility of that, didn't call me and inform me what happened, and Tupac got shot and killed, not while I was there, but while my security company was one of the ones supposedly fired. But we know that's this false statement.
So why would he
news,
lie
as
right
Donald
here?
Trump people would say.
I've been trying to tell you guys for years. The name calling, the inaccurate statements, the claiming to know about someone's business when you really, truly, honestly don't know. All of these things have been distractions and deflections to keep you away from the facts of the matter, and the fact is that on September 7th, 1996, Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. and his failed security company, Right Way Protection Services, failed to protect Tupac Shakur on that fatal night that Tupac would succumb to the injuries based on the lack of protection approximately 6 days later, on September 13th of 1996. The reason why this is so important, and like I said, there's been a lot of players, there's been a lot of rumors, there's been a lot of misinformation, and Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. and Gullible John over at Bomb First have been the ones mainly disseminating this information
Gullible
to
John.
keep you away from what actually should be focused on. And what actually should be focused on was the fact that now, finally, after I called him out after video after video after video, right? He's finally admitting that he was responsible. His security company was responsible, but he keeps on trying to deflect and say that his security guard didn't call him, right? And that he wasn't there when Tupac got shot, meaning physically there in the car, in the vicinity, right? Well, one must truly understand that you are the head of the company. It is your job to know what's going on. It is your job to make sure that everything is running according to the best that it can be ran at that particular time. And that simply was not the case.
Nope.
Suge Knight, when Suge Knight, I played the video, when Suge Knight said that he asked Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. to send 5 more security guards, y'all might have heard that part. But Suge said something before that that was even more important, if you will. Suge said, I had two of the toughest guys on Tupac, but Reggie pulled them off of him.
Why?
Those guys, if you go back and watch the film, they was already stalking Pac, like watching him. So that just tipped the iceberg when something happened. But there was a plan already to do something to him.
Yeah.
And that's why, like I said, I had 2 of the toughest guys for him, and Reggie pulled them off of me. It didn't have to happen. I told him to send 5 guys from the club to there, and they never said nobody.
I'm going to say it again, because I don't think y'all really listened. You know, sometimes you can listen to what somebody say and hear the one part that you want to hear, and, you know, sometimes glaze over the other part that might be a tad bit more important. But Suge Knight said,
yeah.
And that's why, like I said, I had 2 of the toughest guys for him, and Reggie pulled them off of me. It didn't have to happen.
that's why I had 2 of the toughest guys on Pac. But Reggie pulled them off of him. See, he has yet to deal with these factual statements made by his then boss, Suge Knight. But he has finally come out and admitted that he failed Tupac on that night. His security company failed Tupac on that night and failed Suge Knight and failed.
Yeah, failed Tupac that night. Definitely did that. Suge said we heard that earlier, but he had 2 of his best men. He put 2 of his best men on Tupac. Then he told Reggie send 5 more. Reggie joked with him, shit, that nigga fired me. Suge said, man, don't play like that. Name somebody in the hood that play like that. That's what I'm saying. Look, Suge got, damn, they dangled him. He was out there looking like that man, but it looked like Reggie was the one out here knocking heads and street sweeping. Shit, sound like Reggie and the Rampart crew. Nigga, they was the real demons in them streets. I'm starting to really remember back then, man, how nasty it was. Yup. Damn, this is crazy. This is nasty work.
Death Row. And so when we talk about this, this is very important because there's been nobody that's actually come out and admit to anything involving the failure to do what they were supposed to do involving Tupac. We've had Keffe D come out and admit his part that he played, right? But Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. has finally admitted it. And like I told you before, that's negligence. That's negligence. And once again, factually speaking, there is no lie when Yasmin Fuller put out this fax and Frank Alexander said that he got the facts. Frank got the facts. The guy at Death Row Office's security, who was the office manager at that time, got the facts because he told Frank about it.
See why that part is so important, that Reggie denied it and denied it till he couldn't deny it no more, because then that points to motive. They have motive on him now. So he denied it and denied it and denied it until he couldn't deny it no more.
And best believe Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. got the facts also. That's why he pulled the security off of Tupac in Vegas that night. But what Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. forgot is that he was ultimately hired by Death Row. Right? And therein lies the failure. Because when Suge asked him for the 5 more security guards, he was supposed to send them, but he didn't. And like I said, if you focus on what Suge said in regards to, Suge said it. I'm going to say it one more time. Suge said, that's why I had 2 of the toughest guys on Pop, which would probably be Michael Moore, who admittedly had a gun, and Frank Alexander, who said he had his gun, but his gun was in the car. Right? And Suge Knight said, but Reggie pulled them off of him, meaning Michael Moore. Frank Alexander was still there, but he couldn't take his gun into the MGM. You can't go into the MGM like that. You know, you go into the fight. You can't go in there like that.
Yeah. And that's why, like I said, I had 2 of the toughest guys for him, and Reggie pulled them off of him. It didn't have to happen.
So I can understand why Frank wouldn't have his gun on him. And furthermore, Reggie the Rat Wright Jr., his security company did not have gun permits to be able to have guns in Vegas where you could walk around like that. There's a law where you have to get permission if you going into another jurisdiction, you know what I mean, and you roaming as a security. There's something you have to go through the police and all of that. And Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. and his failed security company didn't do that. I've been trying to explain this to you guys. Like I said, once again, all of the other name call, all that other stuff, that's not important. That's deflections. That's trying to tap into your little comedy, your comedy DNA. Ha, ha, ha. Chuckle, chuckle, yeah, laugh, laugh, laugh. Right. But what's more important is Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. has finally admitted he was responsible for the protection of Tupac. And he failed, and the security company failed. And like I said, it is without a doubt documentation of facts sent Frank. So this is the key. Why would Frank Alexander admit that he thought that he was fired? Frank was telling the truth. He was like, yo, the guy at the office told me, Tupac firing you, right? And Frank said he went and asked Tupac. He's like, yo, am I fired? I'm fired? And he told him what happened. And Tupac told him, nah, you going with me. He was firing Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. security company as his personal security because Reggie the Rat Wright Jr.'s personal security company used to roll with Tupac. I've seen them do it. I've witnessed it with my own eyes. You see what I'm saying? So I know that what Tupac meant and under what circumstances he was talking about in regards to that. But guess what? Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. and his failed right-way protective services still worked and was employed by Death Row.
EVE Online is a vast universe. Alive with the unrelenting.
And Suge Knight said it so eloquently as anybody could say it. I had two of the best guys for Pac that night, but Reggie pulled them off of him. You've heard Michael Moore say that. You've heard Frank Alexander say that. You've heard Suge Knight say that. It's been said by three of the most important people in that vicinity, and the most important person in the vicinity was Suge Knight who said it. These are facts. He can't duck that. Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. can't duck that. No matter how many times they try to double down and triple down with this name calling and all of that, the fact of the matter is Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. failed Tupac and Suge on September 7th, 1996.
And them dudes are habitual liars. Him, Cash Jones, they all have one thing in common. They lie and lie and lie and lie. These niggas is liars, man. I'm telling y'all, man. Manipulators. These dudes are the worst. Bottom feeders. Respectfully. These dudes don't have no respect, no honor, no nothing. They'll sell their people out quick to get some power, some influence. Shit is sickening, but it is what it is, though. That's the world we live in, and I think some people who don't want to believe it because they live in a fantasy world. They don't see the real world, even though they live in it. I really believe that. Swear I do. It's like you living in this world, but you're not really seeing it. It's like your brain can't fathom that some people could be so cruel as to knock a dude off for a higher power to get a little influence, and then to mock him with naming a channel behind it, profiting off of it, claiming that you are for it, bring people on your platform to go against it. I mean, just every which way. The sheer cockiness of it all. It's crazy. I don't think y'all hearing me, though. I keep saying it. They named their channel Bomb First. Tupac got a hit song called Bomb First. People send him money and write him and support him because they think that it's for Tupac. Playing in your face, just playing in our faces. And we go and support that shit. We don't read the fine print when it comes to people like this. We just, just believe them right off the bat. Don't question nothing. Because what, they got some accomplishments, they got some breaks. We know that other dude, he ain't really did nothing to, to require us to respect him like that on any level, but manipulate and lie to the people, set people up, extort people. But that's who we put on a high pedestal. Shit is sickening, man.
And Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. is negligent in that. He is responsible for that. And he's lucky, and he's been kowtowing to the estate. He's lucky the estate didn't sue him for that. With Suge's statement alone. You understand what I'm saying?
They took Tupac, man. That shit.
So whenever you hear Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. over on Bomb First and Gullible John huckling, chuckling behind Reggie, right? No. First and foremost, before you hear anything he's going to say, this is the guy who ran the security company that was supposed to protect Tupac on that night. And he failed Tupac because he pulled the security off of Tupac that Suge said was two of his toughest guys that he had put on him. And when you ask, and when they ask, the person asks you, when they say that, and he say, well, how you know that? You know what you tell them? Because Suge Knight, his own boss, said so. Because Michael Moore, one of his security guards that was actually pulled off of Tupac, said
That's
so.
real, Hector, that's real
And
shit.
then you say, well, and you know who else? The guy who actually received the facts and thought.
So we gonna say Reggie failed Tupac. That's what I think. I think Delray be saying. You know what I'm saying? I leave that part off. But no, he failed Tupac that night. You're right. He succeeded that night in what their agenda, the bigger agenda was. Yeah, that was a success. But we will say though, he failed Tupac that night on purpose. Say that
Tupac fired him when he fired Reggie. He actually said so too. Because see, he thought he was fired, but Tupac only meant Reggie and his failed security company. But besides that, he was still supposed to protect Tupac because Reggie the Rat Wright Jr.'s company actually worked for Death Row.
Reg, where's Pac security at, man? Where's his security? Like, that nigga sent me a letter over the day, faxing me, firing me. I don't play no games. That nigga don't want no security on him. Cool. That's less of a headache me trying to find somebody to work. And Suge looked at me and Suge like, we was right there in the middle of the club at House of Blue. I said, Reggie, don't play like that, man. Don't play like that. Pac, number one, he don't pay you no way. He ain't hired you no way. I hired you. I paid him. Don't play like that. So.
Yeah. So we understand and know what it is and what it isn't. How you really felt about Tupac from your own words.
I can't say that I got it or didn't get it. I didn't get it. I didn't know about it. Because I sure would. I'm the type of nigga to be like, fuck that nigga.
So when Tupac fired him, he was firing him as his personal security. But Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. and his failed right-way protective services was still supposed to protect Tupac when Suge asked him to send 5 more security guards, but he did not do that. And the reason he did not do that, because he was fired on August 27th, 1996 by Tupac as his personal security, and he didn't like that. And him pulling the security off of Tupac was retaliation and negligent at the same time. That's how it went down.
I'll pause it there. Well, I'm gonna end it there. But yeah, I'm the type of dude that say, that nigga, that's crazy. That's crazy. Reggie, I just want to say, man, in closing, it appears to me, man, that dude is diabolical. He's one of the dangerous dudes out in my time that I've seen. He's up there. I mean, sheesh. He put in there, and that's just talking Tupac. We haven't even talked Biggie, and the same players are involved. Greg Kading, Reggie Wright, all the main players are involved in both cases. Police officers across the board. Yeah. The top dog called that shot. Salute to Jimmy Iovine, huh? Yeah. Dr. Dre, hey man, salute. There's a reason why Suge just keep going at them and keep going at them. Suge ain't doing that just to be doing it. But at the end of the day, though, Suge, you did do some things to them. We not gonna act like you was a saint. You know, they was probably trying to take you out, but you was a bonus. They want to get back for some of them earlier Death Row days. You know, the drinking of the pee. I was gonna say the but we're really trying to keep this monetization out. Yeah, the Red Room. Remember the Red Room? Yeah, Suge, I do. Remember that red room? A lot of thumping in that mug. And I don't mean nothing sexual. I mean county jail style. Yeah. Phone booth. Pop, 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 pop. So a lot of that shit that went on. A lot of getting smacked. Embarrassed in front of people. In front of your family, friends, and females. Shug, you did some things, you know, that'll make a person decision a lot easier in regards to taking you out too. Just saying, we gonna call a spade. We gonna call a spade a spade. There's a lot of dirt that go around for everybody. There was a whole lot of blasphemy going around for everybody. There was some real treacherous times, man. But at the end of the day, Tupac and Biggie did not deserve to lose their life because of it. We understand that the higher ups called that shot. We understand that. We've been seeing that through all our black leaders throughout the years, the centuries. We know that the higher ups is going to call that shot every time, but they use us to take the shot every single time. Double blasphemy. And y'all chose it. Yeah. I can't wait to see how this unfolds. I just hope whoever is involved get what they deserve. Whatever that is. Anyway, man, we're going to get up out of here, man. I've been on here way too long. I know this content wasn't the rah-rah content that you used to. Sometimes it's not just about the numbers. It's about communicating. But just getting numbers is big for me. I wanted to do something different. I think this really needs some attention. And it will get more attention once they get close to the trial again starting. Oh my God, I can't wait. Damn, I can't wait. I want to see what that private investigator got. That's what I want to see. It's gonna get ugly. Sit tight. Before you know it, it be right there in our face. Pause. All right, man. I'm gonna get up out of here, man. I just want to say thank you to all the mods that pulled up. Happy birthday to my man Muddy. Again, happy birthday, Muddy. You know what? I'll give you this one. Damn, that's loud. Yeah, man. Happy birthday to my man Muddy, man. Yeah, 42, I think he said, right? 42? Yeah, 42. You know what I'm saying? I'm 43. So I can call you young man. You dig? You feel old, huh? Body hurt, a little arthritis here and there. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, you took about 7 to 8 pills every day. You know, make sure you drunk you some water, plenty of water. Yeah. You know, might have to put a couple pillows under your leg tonight, you know, get some elevation. You know what I'm talking about? Getting up there in age, sir. No, salute my man Muddy. Salute to Hector, man. Hector was tearing up the chat tonight. I just was, you know, focusing on the content tonight, not the chat, but I'll take a peek in there. Peekaboo. I wish we could play music. You can't. You lose your monetization. Peekaboo. Nah, I'm goofy. All right, man. Y'all have a good night, man. Y'all have a good weekend. I usually don't do content on the weekend, man. I really try to just do the family thing. But if it is content going, I'm definitely going to do some. But if not, I'm going to catch y'all Monday. Monday morning. I think we're going to do the hot topics every morning. I'm going to try to stick to 5 o'clock my time, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central. All right? Something like that. I think that's how they go. Yeah, I'm going to try to stick to that, but I can't guarantee shit. But it will be in the warning. But until then, man, y'all have a good weekend. UFC is tomorrow night. Man, if we had enough UFC fans, I would do a room for Saturday. Man, I would go live so we could talk about the fights. I don't think I got enough. I'm going to start doing UFC content because I love that sport and I want to talk to my fellow UFC people or MMA people. But all right, man, y'all have a good night, man. I catch y'all on the rebound, man. Until then, man, thank y'all. Salute to y'all. Hector. Y'all have a good night. Let's get it. You welcome. You welcome, Hector. You my man. Hey, hey, hey. We're gonna do some freestyles and shit, man. We gonna get real real ghetto with one of these lives. Have some fun, man. Everything ain't gotta be always buttoned up. Yeah. Y'all have a good weekend, man. Real shit, man. Stay safe, man. Have fun, man.